All right, the hearing at the ICJ in Hague has begun, where the fate of Kulbhushan Jadhav will be decided. The Pakistani side is making its
It's a great honor for me to address
case
this
list.
court on behalf of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Before making any substantive submissions, I must record my delegation's profound concern over the unfortunate situation. We noticed that the judge ad hoc nominated by Pakistan could not attend the proceedings yesterday, and he is not present today. This is a matter of great concern for Pakistan. Pakistan exercised its right to appoint a judge ad hoc as provided in Article 31(2) of the Statute of International Court of Justice. Article 32 clearly provides that if one state party to a dispute has a permanent judge on the bench, the other state has the right to appoint a judge ad hoc. This fundamental procedural right of the state party to a dispute, a right that Pakistan exercised in good faith and in full compliance of the rules of the court. Regrettably, however, this right is yet to be effectively exercised. The judge ad hoc has not yet been sworn in. Accordingly, at present, Pakistan does not have a judge ad hoc. We have further been informed that the judge ad hoc, Mr. Gilani, is indisposed and is unable to attend the proceedings. We wish Mr. Gilani a quick recovery and that he restores to good health. Pakistan is ready and committed to presenting his case to the court, but we invite the members of the court to appreciate the extraordinary situation that we find ourselves in. If proceedings continue, the vital part of the proceedings shall conclude today, and Pakistan's procedural right to have a judge ad hoc on the bench shall stand permanently frustrated. While a citizen of the complaining state sits as a permanent judge on the bench, the responding state's right to have an ad hoc judge is not effected. In light of the above, Pakistan, while placing itself in the hands of this court, is obliged to request the court to allow for another individual to be sworn in as provided for under Article 35(5) of the rules of the court. Article 35(5) provides, and I quote, "A judge ad hoc who has accepted appointment but who becomes unable to sit may be replaced." This rule caters to precisely the present situation. It is also requested that the court may give him sufficient time to go through the brief. I would like to reiterate that Pakistan is ready and committed to present its case to the court. As always, we remain assured that the interests of responding states will be adequately guarded by this court, and Pakistan requests will be met with consideration and circumstances as the circumstances demand. I am in your lordship's hands. That is all. As this court so pleases.
Have you completed your introduction of today's hearings, the presentation of Pakistan?
Yes, we have completed the presentation of Pakistan. My statement is ready. That is also there, but for this, I am in the court's hands.
I would like to ask you to read your statement.
Pardon?
I would like to ask you to read your statement.
Okay.
if your statement is ready.
It is ready.
And we are ready to hear you and to hear your side and the arguments of Pakistan.
I will proceed, sir.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Court, Honorable Judges, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I, the Attorney General for Pakistan, am honored before this august court as the agent of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. With the leave of the court, I would like to introduce our delegation. Dr. Mohammad Faisal, the co-agent for Pakistan. Mr. Shujat Ali Rathore, Ambassador for Pakistan to Netherlands. Mr. Ahmad Irfan Aslam, Mr. Tehmas Rizvi, Mr. Khawar Qureshi QC, Legal Counsel and Advocate, Mr. Joseph Tyke, Legal Assistant, Ms. Katrina Nicol, Junior Counsel for Pakistan, Mia Shaur Ahmad. Mr. President, Honorable Judges of the Court, I would provide a brief overview of the form that Pakistan's submission will take. This esteemed court has been made aware from the pleadings of the parties here, giving the background, events leading to the appearance today. However, I need to talk straight, seeking to highlight the heart of the matter, with a view to emphasize the inconsistencies and contradictions made with the aim to mislead this honorable court. The Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan provides for due process as a fundamental right, tolerance, and being peaceful. All laws are made by the Parliament in accordance with the Constitution after proper debate and discussions. The local laws are thus within the domain of the Parliament and the independent courts of Pakistan. Similarly, the creation of military courts was through this parliamentary process. Pakistan's sovereignty cannot be compromised under any legal dispensation. All courts are working under due legal process, having proper jurisdiction as provided by law. In contrast, without due process, the action of our neighbor, India, chooses to destabilize and create hegemony over its neighbors by force, causing terrorism, training terrorists for acting in neighbor countries, sending their trained spies to fund, create chaos in those countries. For our part, we wish that were not so. Moreover, we wish to make it absolutely clear that we remain committed to the path of peaceful resolution of all outstanding disputes. Pakistan, as a consequence of the Indian intervention, along with others, is a major victim of terrorism, where the country and its innocent citizens continue to fight this menace both inside and on the borders. Pakistan has continuously suffered more than 74,000 casualties and fatalities due to terrorism caused mainly by the interference of our neighbor, India. It is in this context that Commander Kulbhushan Jadhav, a serving officer of the Indian Navy, working for the India's Research and Analysis Wing, commonly called as RAW. India's brutal primary foreign intelligence agency entered Pakistan with a predetermined aim on the instructions of the government of India to assist, plan, and cause terrorism in Balochistan and the Sindh provinces and other places in the country. This much he has admitted before an independent judicial magistrate sitting in a court of competent jurisdiction with the benefit of stringent safeguards to protect him against any form of pressure or coercion when making such a confession. The Indian state-sponsored terrorism has been the order of the day. India, contrary to all international laws and norms, interferes in training and arming anti-Pakistan militia and funded them to attack East Pakistan to cause dismemberment of Pakistan, which fact in 2016 the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi twice admitted. The Indian National Security Advisor, Mr. Ajit Doval, makes no secret of his plans to foment and foster unrest in Pakistan through Indian spy agencies by applying what he calls a double squeeze strategy. The Indian petition at the IJ is a classic example of old adage that mouth prays to Buddha, but the heart is full of evil. May I say that I have been a victim of Indian brutalities. When I say I, my person, Indian brutalities, detained, tortured under inhuman conditions contrary to the Geneva Convention during my captivity as a prisoner of war, being a 20-year-old officer of the Pakistan Army in 1971. This is India that we sadly see all too often. Mr. President and the learned judges, even prior to the capture of Commander Yadav, it was after the speech of Mr. Ajit Doval, a huge blast wrecked the Balochistan High Court at Quetta. We lost more than 70 senior, experienced lawyers. Karachi has dozens of attacks, causing multiple precious lives to be lost. Similar blasts and suicide bombers have killed numerous citizens in Pakistan. The unlawful action of India have also been proven that India has been using Afghanistan as the second front at the western border of Pakistan, as has been said by the ex-US Secretary of State Chuck Hagel in the speech in 2011 at the Oklahoma University. This has been proved by the deadly attack on the Army Public School, APS, at Peshawar, where we lost more than 140 innocent school children, some as young as 6 years old. Massacre by the inhuman attack, admittedly sponsored by India from Afghanistan on the 16th of December 2014. In fighting terrorism, we have lost more than $123 billion. Loss of sense of security, flight of capital from the country, and unbearable human cost which continue to mount. In an apparent albeit regrettable attempt to use the August forum for grandstanding and politicking, India never notified Pakistan a dispute through the optional protocol which could have engaged mandatory alternate dispute resolution processes for at least 2 months. But inexplicably chose to ambush the court, invoking urgency. Commander Jadhav planted several local residents, collaborators, conspirators, non-state actors, becoming an integral part of a network run by him to carry out the despicable terrorism and suicide bombing, target killing, kidnapping for ransom, and targeted operations to create unrest and instability in the country. His unlawful activities are directed at creating anarchy in Pakistan and particularly targeted the Pakistan-China economic corridors. Ports of Gwadar, Turbat, and Jiwani were specially identified to damage the China-Pakistan economic corridor that is bringing development to Pakistan, poorest region. In addition, he funded subversive and secessionist elements through informal and illegal money channels contrary to the laws of Pakistan and in violation to the Financial Action Task Force, FATF, principles and provisions. Commander Jadhav was nominated in the police first information report for his terrorist activities prior to the judicial confession. In the existing FIR, a supplementary FIR was filed in addition on additional information given by the Commander Jadhav in his judicial confession. Commander Jadhav activities are not acts of an individual. Rather, these are being committed at the behest of the Indian state and the government. Commander Jadhav's confession speaks of India's state policy of sponsoring.
All right, that was the Attorney General of Pakistan, Anwar Masood, there making the point for India in the Kulbhushan Jadhav case at the ICJ in The Hague. But his demand for an ad hoc Pakistani judge on that panel, the panel didn't say anything about it and asked him to continue with his arguments, where he said due process was followed as far as the Kulbhushan Jadhav case was concerned, that the Vienna Convention was not violated, and that Pakistan has suffered terrorism at the hands, surprisingly, of India. So we will be tracking all those latest arguments being made from the Pakistani side. Remember, there are 2 more days when it comes to that case, and then the judgment can come, well, in midsummer of 2019. So there will be a long wait for the judgment in that case.